I'm Scott Cornell, sixth-generation farmer from Howell, Michigan. We raise mostly corn, wheat, and soybeans. So each morning I wake up, usually run right to the TV, check the weather. I'd eat my breakfast, head up to the farm, go over the equipment, make sure everything is ready to go, head off to whichever field if we're going to go plant soybeans that day or corn, or just head off and start working the fields and get them planted. As a farmer, there's many types of different hats you need to wear. First of all, you need to be your own meteorologist and know the weather, because lots of times it'll be forecasted to do one thing and it'll do the other. So you sometimes have to make your own just gut feeling, gut decisions. And you also have to be a good marketer, know when to sell the grain. And the grain market changes sometimes every half hour. Chicago Board of Trade. It's just like the stock market with stocks. Also, as a farmer, another hat you have to wear is being a mechanic. You need to be able to do general maintenance, change oils, grease. We do all that we can do. A lot of this stuff is computerized now, so you need a laptop and stuff like that. We have to actually call the John Deere dealer out to do. But farming is very, very seasonal, as far as there's a month in the spring roughly where you do all your planning. And then you've got harvest time in the fall, usually September, October. But all the time in between, we do select cut logging. We harvest trees from private woodlots and around the county. A lot of people we know, we go and just log their woods out, maybe take out 10 trees an acre or 5 trees an acre, and then we turn around and sell those logs to whoever, whichever sawmill pays us the most. We ship logs as far as Japan. Some of them go in the United States, some of them go overseas. It's just something that we started doing about 25 years ago. Saves us from going and getting a real job. I grew up obviously in a farm family, and all I ever wanted to do was farm. I loved it from day one. I mean, I was riding on the tractors with my dad when I was 3 years old. I went through high school, no college. Basically, I couldn't get home to farm quick enough. For me, it was all I ever wanted to do. I have a 13-year-old son, Weston, who's going to follow in my footsteps. So he would be the 7th generation to be on the family farm here. He loves it, can't get enough.
My favorite part of farming is running the tractors and helping my dad and grandpa. I can't get out of school fast enough to just get in the tractor, and I just love to see when all the crops are planted, all the work we've done, and I hope to keep the farm going in the future.
And I also think it's really important to raise my son in a world where everything is technology, and kids he goes to school with are different than him. Basically, he's had to grow up a little faster and be responsible, and so I try to balance that for him. He gets time with his friends, but he also has to work.
Family dynamics, as far as getting a good balance, is sometimes tough because of the goofy hours. And when it's time to harvest or time to plant, you've got to do it when Mother Nature allows you to do it. So there's sometimes where meals get missed or dinner gets eaten at 9 o'clock at night. It's a different life than the 9 to 5 normal job. The hardest part, there's actually many hard parts to being a farmer. There's not just one. You've got to know when is a good time to plant, when is a good time to harvest, are the weathermen right? You've got to make a lot of tough decisions that sometimes may make or break you. There's no boss telling you when to go plant. You have to make that decision yourself. There's nobody telling you, okay, today you're going to plant corn. You have to decide if it's the right time to plant corn. So the most rewarding part of being a farmer probably would be harvest time, because you spent all spring planting your crops, and then all summer you spent praying for rain when rain is needed, and sunshine when sunshine is needed. So come fall, when it's harvest time, every year harvest is different. Now what I mean by different is every year you have different weather scenarios, so the outcome at harvest time some years is some years if it doesn't rain, you have half a crop, and some years if you have lots of rain, you have a bumper crop where you get lots of bushels. So the biggest reward would be harvest, because all that work put in the spring and summer months comes out in about a week when you go and harvest your crop. Family farms are very important in my mind because it's like a bonding time. I mean, nobody's working set hours, nobody's being really told what to do. And with a family farm, it's just a lot more closer than, you're not just an employee, you're part of the family. And I really hate to see all the farms go to commercial farming where you're just kind of a number and you can't really be passed on to the next generation because you're just an employee like at Ford or GM. So here in the Howell area, things change yearly with all the urban sprawl. Well, Howell is located right in the middle of Lansing and Detroit, so everybody wants to move out to the Howell area, commute either direction. But it puts a lot of pressure on the family farms because they don't like our tractors going up down the road. The folks that milk cows, they don't like this manure smell, but they seem to like cheese and milk, and they just don't quite know how to spell farm. So I can see in the future this area may be slowly no more farms, you know. And that would be kind of sad because we've been here 6, 7 generations, and I can see where I don't know there'll be another 6 or 7.